that better? I hope that's better. I hope I figured this thing out. There we go. There we go. I think I got it set up. No better way to start. No better way to start than with some technical difficulties. It's always a good way to start, right? PJ Quinn, I see that he's in here. What's up, man? Can you guys see and hear me okay? Can everyone, I see some hearts, so that's good. Absolutely, Luans, man, it is honored to be here. Absolutely honored to be here. Share the feed, hear and see perfect. Okay, that's good. That is very, very good. Coming all the way from Australia, my man PJ Quinn. Good afternoon, good afternoon. What is that? Leyland Sawyer, hello. Frank Salas, thanks for the share, man. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon out here in Kentucky. Yeah, share the feed, please, please. I love the little praying hands. I love that. Bookie Blake, what's up, man? Austin, Texas, big money. Frank Salas, what's up, my man? I love it. I love it. Frank Salas, always supporting, always encouraging, incredible, incredible human being. Love you, Frank, man. That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hi, Near. What's up, girl? Haven't seen you in a long time. All right, all right, all right. We're starting to pour in. This is good. This is a good thing. Hey, 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 what's up, what's up? Thanks, PJ. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, cool. I think make music. All right, I think everybody is sharing and getting in here. Let's blow up the feed. Let's make sure. I had some technical difficulties in the beginning, so I want to make sure I did this right. Make sure I shared here. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Come on, baby. Everybody get on in here. Let's go. This will not let me. Let me fix this real quick. So what's up? What are you guys doing, man? What listening mode? I like that. What are you guys doing? What are you doing on this Sunday afternoon? What's everybody doing? You tell me a little bit about what you're doing right now. We'll get this thing going here in about 2 minutes. Just give everybody a little bit more time to get in here, get the shares, finish going to the bathroom, whatever it is they're doing. Sunday mind mapping. Right on, right on. Content creation. Nice, Frank. You're always doing some content creation. You are the content genius. That is what you do. The talented Mr. Salas. I like that name. All right, cool. People are sharing. People are getting in here. All right. Well, Ricky, thanks for letting me know that I had started the broadcast on the wrong Periscope account. Let's just start there. I appreciate that. Feeding my brain some creativity and Chinese food. Nice, man. Very nice. I actually just got done. We had a flag football game today. So it was kind of tight, but we had a flag football game that I had to get to before I could do this little feed here. So went out there, played a little bit of flag football. We lucked out because the other team was short a guy. So the game quickly got out of hand. We took a big lead early, and I was able to get out of there and shoot home because I was going to have to periscope from the field out there. So glad I didn't have to do that. That's right, Mercy Rule, baby. That's how we do it. PJ, man, I know you've been telling me that you've increased your sales over there. It's incredibly impressive. I follow you on Facebook, follow you here on Periscope, and it's impressive, man. It is impressive what you've been able to do. All right, cool. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Glenn Lundy. and I am the general manager at a place called Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick. That is in Paris, Kentucky. If you don't know, which I'm sure a lot of you don't know anything about Paris, Kentucky, but Paris, Kentucky is just outside of Lexington, Kentucky, which is close to Louisville, where they run the Kentucky Derby. But it's just outside of there. It's a small town. Population of Paris, the population's about 11 or 12,000 people. It's a very, very, very small town, very traditional town, very old school town. And in Kentucky, no, don't know it. Yeah, Paris is very small, just outside of Lexington. But what's cool is there's only 12,000 people in the city of Paris and the surrounding counties. We've got a total of 12,000 people that live there. And in the last 5 years, we have managed to become the number one volume. Yeah, only 12,000 people. We've managed to become the number one volume used car dealer in the state. We've also managed to become the top. We're a top 5 used car dealership in the nation. We sell approximately 800 cars a month out of Dan Cummins Chevrolet. Hey, thank you very much, Frank. So, my boy PJ, Quinn, he had asked me to come on. Yes, 800 cars. He had asked me to come on and just share my story, how I got to Kentucky, how we got to the level that we're at now with the dealership, and I'm just honored to do it. Yeah, used cars we sell about 650 to 700, and then we sell another 150 or so new cars right now. That's where we're at now. If this Periscope was 4 months from now, that number will be completely different. It'll be a lot higher. But 2. All right, good. So let me give you a little background on me. Again, my name is Glenn Lundy. I am 38. I have to count because I'm getting up there. I'm 38 years old now. I have 5 beautiful kids, 17, 6, 4, 2, and a 6-month-old. So I've got 5 kids, and I actually grew up in a place called Flagstaff, Arizona. Now, Flagstaff is another fairly small town. Now, it's north of Phoenix, close to the Grand Canyon. I'm sure you guys have heard of that place. And in Flagstaff, I was basically I grew up there. I lived there for 23 years. And my oldest daughter, Kira, her mom and I were together when we had her. And we had some struggles there. We had a lot of struggles there. And I was running a Nissan dealership at the time. So some things happened. Some things didn't necessarily go my way. And I lost full custody of my 6-year-old daughter at the time. I had raised her pretty much every day of her life, and she was taken away from me. So when she was taken away from me, my very first instinct, of course, was to point fingers, point blame. It was everybody else's fault. It wasn't my fault. And I just kind of went into a little pity party for myself and didn't really take any action. So I lost her. Obviously not lost her like she didn't die, lost her, but I lost her. She wasn't in my life anymore. So at that point, I made a decision to kind of just run. That was the only thing I could think to do. I didn't have enough wisdom. I didn't have enough experience. I didn't know what else to do. So I just ran. I remember I had a white Ford Mustang. And I just jumped in the car. I packed what would fit in the Mustang, which if any of you have ever seen one, you can't fit a whole lot in a Mustang. But I packed it up and I hit the road, and I just drove. I just drove till I ran out of gas. Really, I didn't have any money, and I just drove as far as I could drive, and I ended up in Mustang Sally. I ended up in San Diego, California. Now, when I was in San Diego, basically, I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I had a buddy out there who was, allowing me to kind of sleep on the couch type thing. So I stayed out there with him, and I just played poker. I played poker for a living for about a year and a half. Some days I was up, some days I was down. Some days I had pockets full of cash. Other days I was basically, looking up and down the street for change so that I could get a sausage McMuffin from McDonald's, or just something to eat. So I did the whole poker thing again for about a year and a half. I just kind of did the poker thing. There was a period of time where the guy that was letting me stay there kind of got sick of this lazy guy just hanging out, out all night, sleeping all day kind of thing. He got sick of that, so he didn't want me staying with him anymore. I had lost connections with my parents, my family members, my friends. Basically I had blown all them off, because when you live in that casino scene, when you're living that life where one day you're up and one day you're down, it's really, really difficult to make relationships. So I'd lost all my relationships. I'd lost all my money. This guy kicked me out of the house, and I was on a bus, really. That's where I would sleep. I'd hop on the bus, pay the fare. The bus would run, out there in San Diego, the bus would run 24/7. So I'd jump on the bus and just sleep there. It was the safest place that I could find to sleep. And then 6 in the morning, I'd get off the bus and just go back at it. So during that period of my life, I really had no direction, didn't know where I was going. I had burned all of my bridges, and I was still just pointing a finger at everybody else. It was all their fault. It wasn't me. And that's the way I lived my life. Or that's just how my mind thought. That's where I was at. So there came a day where I just gave up. I had ran away from all of my problems. Now I had just created more problems. I didn't have any connections, any friends, anybody to turn to, no family. And so, at that point, I'm not a very good swimmer. And so I decided to, I don't know why I haven't really shared this part, but I just decided to swim out. I swam out into the ocean as far as I could swim, in hopes that I would never make it back. At that point, just with losing my kid and not having any relationships and with nowhere to go, I just didn't know what else to do. I had, criminal background. I had made lots of mistakes there. So it was really tough for me to get jobs, which, again, that's how I felt at the time. Obviously, if I just would have frickin' hustled and done what I do now, I would have had no problems. But that's not where my mind was back then. So I swam out as far as I could swim. And not being a good swimmer, God works in mysterious ways, because God never made me a big swimmer. But not being a good swimmer, I couldn't get out past the break. I'd swim out, and the ocean would just kept pushing me back in. It just kept rolling me back onto the shore. No matter what I would do, I'd swim out. I'd think, okay, this is it. I'm giving up. It's over. And then I'd get pushed back on the shore. I just kept getting pushed back up. And it was just so, it was so frustrating and mind-blowing. I couldn't do that right either, I just couldn't do anything right. And then I was still just blaming everybody. So I remember that night. I remember being on the beach and just thinking, what in the heck am I doing wrong? What do I gotta do, to change this? I've got to take control of my life. So I slept on the beach that night. I woke up the next morning, and there was people around me and families, and the sun was shining. If you've ever been to San Diego, or if you haven't, you need to go there. It's beautiful. But, I just woke up that next morning, and I just looked around at all of the abundance that was around me. So much abundance. There was just people and wealth and beauty and and, and it's just incredible. And so I thought to myself, kind of in that moment, I thought back. I had done, when I was running the car dealership out in Arizona, I had done some Grant Cardone training. And I just remember Grant saying, there's so much money in the world. There's so much money out there that it's similar to the ocean. You can go out into the ocean and you can grab bucket after bucket after bucket of water, and you'll never, ever make a dent in it. There's so much abundance out there. There's so much wealth. There's so much spiritual enlightenment. There's so many people. There's just so much that it's okay to take as much as you can if you do it the right way. It's okay to take as much as you can. It doesn't hurt anybody else to do so. So when Grant popped into my mind, I thought, okay, I need to get after it. It's time to figure this out. It's time to take charge of my own life. Quit blaming people. Quit pointing fingers and go out there and get what's mine. So I remember I played some poker games. I bit my lip as far as ego wise. I called some people that I didn't want to call, and I just asked for help. I just asked for help just to get me a job, get me something. I begged and I pleaded with everyone that I can, everyone that I could, and I got a job working for 2020 companies out of San Diego, and they shipped me immediately. My first day on the job, they gave me I remember a laptop, a cell phone, a business credit card, and some airline tickets to New York City. So here I am. I'm like, I don't know what the heck is going on. So I jump on the airplane. I fly out to New York City. I stay in a hotel out there. I open some sales offices, did some odd jobs, and basically started living out of hotels. The company paid for me to hop from hotel to hotel all over the East Coast, opening sales offices. So it was awesome, man. The experience in New York, the experience in Florida and Maine and Rhode Island and Massachusetts, and I got to experience so much, and I saw the same things. I saw wealth, I saw abundance, I saw driven people, and this company I worked for was driven. They were growing. And it was incredible. It was such a spiritual, time for me to just experience life and how much is out there and how different it can be when you quit blaming everybody and take responsibility, how different the world is. It's just a completely different view. So I traveled around doing that for 6 months, and as part of that, I came through Lexington, Kentucky. Now, while I was in Lexington, I was here for 3 weeks and opening some sales offices, met some wonderful people out here. Couldn't help but fall in love with the tradition. Cost of living was great. People are great out in Kentucky. And so I experienced that, and I went back to San Diego, and then a buddy called me. And he said, hey, man, I need a roommate. One of the guys I had met out here in Kentucky, he said, I need a roommate. What are you doing with your life? And I said, well, I'm really not doing much, but I'm ready to do something. And so he said, come out here to Kentucky. So I looked. I had $1,500 cash. That's all I had. And a suitcase with some clothes. That's all I had to my name. Credit was horrible. Didn't have any of that. No savings, no nothing. And I decided to take the plunge. So I jumped on the plane, flew out to Lexington, Kentucky to meet up with this guy that I'd known for 3 weeks. Just decided to take a chance. And as soon as I got here, I just went at it. I went at it as hard as I could. I had a dream. I had a vision. I wanted to build my own company. I wanted to share my experiences with people. I wanted to meet as many people as humanly possible. I wanted to network. I wanted to do all of that. And so I took a side job at a Sheraton hotel working, night auditing just to save up a little bit of cash. And once I got $5,000 together, I started my own little entertainment company. I used to run poker tournaments in bars and restaurants all over Lexington, all over the state of Kentucky. And I grew that company from me It was just me and a card table and some cards and some chips. And I grew that to this company where I have Budweiser. Budweiser became our sponsor. I had thousands of members playing, thousands upon thousands. I had multiple venues. We were running poker tournaments 7 nights a week in 5 different restaurants. And so, I blew that up for a while, and it was awesome. The revenue started coming in. I made a lot of connections, just really started to connect with a lot of people, but I still wasn't quite there, The lifestyle still wasn't right. I was in bars and restaurants, and I was out till 3 o'clock in the morning and probably drinking a little too much, if you know what I mean. And so it still wasn't real healthy, but I was starting to become financially healthy. I was starting to get a taste of what that felt like. So then I met my wife. Her name is Leslie, and she is beautiful, and she is my everything. I met my wife. We had my what's that? I don't have phone. Oh, I met my wife, and we had my first daughter. Her name is Savannah, and my wife said, "You got to get out of the bars, man. Why don't you go back to the car business? The car business is what you're good at." And so she tells me this, and I'm like, "All right, cool." So we go to Paris, Kentucky. I go to Dane Cummins Chevrolet, which is the store that I'm at now. I walk in. I apply for a management position. They tell me, hell no, we don't need any managers. If you want to sell cars, you're welcome to. So I swallowed my pride, and I started selling cars. Started selling cars again. First month, top salesperson, sold 34 cars, I think it was my first month over there. And within 6 months, it wasn't long, within 6 months, they promoted me to sales manager. And at this point, I now run the store. To give you an idea of what that was like, the dealership, when I first walked in there 5 years ago, January 11th, 2011, the dealership was selling roughly 120 to 140 cars a month. That's about what they were doing. Last year, we sold 7,500, and this year, we're going to sell over 10,000 cars. So in 5 years, we took it from a store that was doing 2,000 cars a year to a store that's doing 10,000 cars a year. And a lot of people, they ask me, there it is right there. How you doing? Or how you doing it, dude? Oh, no, he's talking to somebody else. My bad. But people ask me, like, what did we do? How do we do it? And it comes down to my bracelet right here. On my bracelet, I don't know if you can see it, but here's the motto that I teach at the dealership. We change, we struggle, we grow, and we succeed. Okay? That's the motto. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. A lot. And look, success, change, struggle, grow, succeed. That's where it's at, man. There is no success without growth, right? If you play it backwards, it makes more sense. There's no success without growth, right? There's no growth without struggle, right? There's no growth without struggle. And we're not going to struggle until we make a change. And see, I learned this from my kids, watching my kids. I have so many kids, so I learn a lot from them. But I learned from my kids, it's a lot, buddy. You're killing me. So I watch my kids. I watch these kids from Africa. Awesome. These kids, they're just babies. They're just babies, and they're content, and they just lay there, and they're good, and they're fed, and they're changed, and life is okay, right? And all is good. They just lay there. But then all of a sudden, a light bulb goes off. Something changes in their mind. They think, wait a minute. I'm not content just laying here. I'm not content, not being able to move, not being able to go over there if I want something, having to rely on everyone else. I'm not content with that. So something changes in here. And as soon as that change happens, you can watch it. Physically, they start to struggle. They start to try to learn to crawl or to roll over. You can see the muscles getting tight, and they're just grasping, and they're struggling. They're struggling, and as they struggle, those muscles start to grow, right? The muscles start to grow, the coordination starts to grow, the balance starts to grow. Everything starts to grow, and ultimately they're successful, right? They have success. They roll over, or they start crawling, or they stand up, they start walking. But the process is always the same. First we change, then we struggle, then we grow, then we succeed. So at the dealership, that's what I did. I went in and I talked to these guys, and I said, how can we change, how can we change the stereotypes that are associated? I do know Snoop Dogg. I partied with him for New Year's last year. But how can we change the stigmas that are associated with the car business? How can we change that? We don't want to completely reinvent the wheel. The wheel's great. Everybody sells cars. Everybody buys cars. Everybody needs cars. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to change the direction that the wheel spins. So how do we do that? And that's the mindset I went in at. And I said, look, first we gotta change our goals. Our goals at the time were to sell 150 cars a month. Well, what was that? That's not making a difference. That didn't matter. That wasn't going to make us all. That wasn't going to make us all healthy. That wasn't going to make us all successful. We weren't all going to get there off 150 cars a month. So we had to change the goal. So we shot the goal up to 300 cars a month. Then when we hit that, we shot the goal up to 400. When we hit that, we shot that to 500. 2 years ago, I gave everybody a bracelet that said Road to 6,000. We had sold 4,200 cars the year before. I said, we're going to sell 6,000 next year. Even the owners of the store said, Glenn, I don't know. I don't know if we can sell 6,000 cars, but I knew that if I could change the mindset of everybody in the building and change the mindset of all of our customers that are watching us online and change the mindset of all of the friends and family members about what we do, if I could change their mind, we would struggle, we would grow, but we would succeed. And that's what we've done. So now here we are. We sold 6,000 cars in 2014. And so everybody said, hey, Glenn, what's the goal for 2015? What number? I said, you know what? We're not going to put a number on it. We're not going to put a number on our goal in 2015. You know why? Because the goal is 10,000 cars in 2016. So we're going to do everything we can in 2015. We're going to make every move, every tweak, every adjustment. We're going to grind and study and work and grind and stay all night and study and read and learn and become better individuals. We're going to do that all year in 2015 so that we can sell 10,000 cars in 2016. That's the goal. And that's exactly what we did. We tweaked everything in the store, made it just a little bit better. Just a little bit better process for our customers. Made sure we had great employees. Made sure it was an incredible work environment. We remodeled the store. We added more space. We bought land. We did whatever we could to set us up to sell 10,000 cars this year, right now, 2016. And at the time, we had never even broke 700 cars before. We had never sold more than 700 cars. When we set the goal in January, we sold 675. February, we sold 830. March, we sold 817. And this month, we're going to sell 900 cars. We're going to sell 900 cars. 4 months ago, we couldn't break 700. The year before that, we couldn't break 500. So how did we do it, man? We're not reinventing the wheel. We're not doing anything crazy. It's all right here. There are no victims. Okay? You're not a victim. It's nobody else's fault. It's all you. If you can dream it, I know that sounds cheesy, but it's so true. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. I'm telling you, there's abundance out there for all of you. Abundance for me. Abundance for you guys, abundance for everybody. It exists. You have to start here. Change the way you perceive things. Change your beliefs. If you have to, put a disclaimer here, I don't mean this really, but I had to swim out into the ocean. I had to swim out into the ocean and get pushed back onto the shore. I went the hard way. I went the hardest way possible. I had to be homeless. I had to sleep on buses. I had to go through so much crap to just change this. So my message to you guys, and I'll stop here shortly and answer some questions, but my message to you guys is simple, man. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? Are your goals high enough? Are you setting goals? Are you telling yourself that you can't have that? That's crazy, that's out there, that doesn't exist? Are you telling yourself that you're not talented enough, that you're not good looking enough, that you're not, that you don't have enough experience? Are you telling yourself that? Because if you are, it's bull crap. It's not true. It's not right. It's not. So change. And I promise you, when you make the change, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle. It will be hard to change. Okay? If it's not a struggle, you're not changing enough. You get that? Does that make sense? If you're not struggling, then it's easy. And if it's easy, then you're not going to grow. It's got to be hard to grow. Just like the weight room, right? If you just sit there with it's easy. Oh, yeah, I can push this up 700 times. You're not going to grow any muscles. It's not going to grow. It's got to be hard. Okay? So once you make that change, you're going to struggle. I promise. But once you do that struggle, you're going to grow. And on the opposite side, just on the other side of growth, is success. That's what I want for all of you guys. That's what I want for my team. It's what I want for myself. I know you guys wouldn't be on here if that's not what you weren't looking for, So change, grow, change, struggle, grow, succeed. That's my message to all you guys out there. It's absolutely an honor to be on here. I'll go ahead and take questions. You guys have any questions? You can ask me anything except for exactly how much I make. But you can ask me anything else, and I'll be glad to respond. Ghost codes, period. Oh, you're so welcome, man. You're so welcome, PJ. Thank you so much for having me on here. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. That's right, man. That's right. I think you said you're all the way from Africa, right? That's awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Killer Smile. Do I have goals outside of my business? Absolutely. I set a goal last year. Every morning, basically, what I do, and I'll answer that one next, where I see myself in 2 years. But every morning when I wake up in the morning, I have a little book, and I take some time upstairs, and I write out a gratitude list. That's how I start every day. Just, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that, I'm thankful for, the sunrise, I'm thankful for the birds chirping, whatever it is, just to get my mind in a gratitude state. And then I write my goals. And for the last, 3 or 4 years, I've been writing that I wanted to become a helicopter pilot. I've just always loved helicopters, always. And so I just would write that as a goal. I am a helicopter pilot. I am a helicopter pilot. And I just wrote that for years. And about 4 months ago, I said, why am I just writing this? Why am I just writing this down? I need to take action. I need to do this. So I've been training to fly helicopters. I'm getting close. I'm not quite ready to fly solo yet, but I've been working on that, and that's one of my goals outside of work. I want to be able to do these things. If I can dream it, I just want to go out there and achieve it. I've also got a lot of personal goals with my family, things I want to be able to do for my kids, and yes, you heard pilot, that's right. A lot of things I want to do for my kids, and so on and so forth. So, to answer the other question, someone said, where do I see myself in 2 years? And basically, my goal 2 years from now is to be an owner. I would like to be a part owner in a dealership with the owner of the dealership I'm at now. My name is Glenn Lundy. I would like to be a part owner in a dealership. I'm hoping that we can expand what we're doing right now in Paris, Kentucky. I'm hoping we can expand that into a dealer group, maybe have 4 or 5 dealerships with each one of them, selling 10,000 cars a year or so. So that's what I'm hoping there. As far as expanding business out of the USA, I don't know, man. That's pretty That's pretty out there. When was the no way back moment? The point where you knew you were on the brink of something special. When we set the goal to sell, 6,000 cars. All right, honey. When when I set the goal for us to sell 6,000 cars, that was pretty much that was the year, because that year was really a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. That was a struggle. That year right there was a struggle. Getting everybody in the dealership on board, getting everybody to change their mindset. It took a lot of energy to make that happen. And when we, December 1st, it didn't look like we were going to hit the 6,000 car mark. And I pulled everybody into a meeting. I pulled my entire staff into a meeting. And I said, look, guys, I have given you everything for the last 11 months. I have given you everything. I said, now look, here we are 30 days away. We're getting ready to not hit our goal. And if we don't hit our goal of 6,000 cars, we will forever be people that don't achieve our goals. I said, I need you to dig. I need you to grind. I need you to perform better than you've ever performed in your entire life. And sure enough, on December 26th, we had 4 days left in the year. Now we sold that 6,000th car. And that was the moment. That was the moment that I knew that this dealership, with all the great people that I work with, the leaders that are in that company, it's Dan Cummins, Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. It was snow all over the ground. It's nuts. But I knew right then that this team can do anything. Our mind is so right. Everybody in there's nothing we can't achieve. I haven't done any consulting at this point, Frank. I'm so freaking busy, man. Selling 10,000 cars a year. Are you crazy? Growing this place from 2,000 cars a year to 10. It's nuts. And then I got 5 kids. Man. Plus I'm flying helicopters and playing flag football and trying to stay healthy. Trying to get guns like my boy PJ. I'll never get anywhere near PJ's guns, but I try. So no, I don't. I don't do any consulting at this point. Later though, I'm hoping maybe in retirement. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have put that gun up there. I'm glad that you can't put yours up right now because I'd be embarrassed. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions or? Yeah, PJ's freaking massive, dude. Guy is swole. I really do appreciate you guys taking your time out on a Sunday, on a Sunday afternoon to share this with me, and it's just an honor. It's really an honor, to be able to do this for you guys. I love it. I hope I helped you in some way or another. I hope to get the message of change, struggle. Yeah, you can repurpose it. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. I hope I can get that out there. Do you have women working on sales or just men? I actually have a couple girls. One girl, man, we should get her on here. I've got one girl. She's 21 years old, and she started as my receptionist 2 years ago. She kept asking me to sell cars. I kept telling her no. Her brother worked there. She got his login for Cardone training. She did Cardone training while she was a receptionist. I made her a salesperson. She kicked everybody's ass as a salesperson. We promoted her to finance manager 4 months ago. She is a 21-year-old female finance manager making big bucks at the highest volume store in the state, top 5 volume store in the nation. I've got a 21-year-old female finance girl killing it. She's killing it. It's amazing. She's incredible, man. She's incredible. We have incredible people at my dealership. I can't tell you. If you ever get a chance, you're ever in Kentucky, come check us out, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. That girl who dropped her story at the interview. Yeah, we can get her on here, man. She is something special, dude. I'm telling you, she is absolutely something special. I'm mind blown at how powerful she is. She is such a powerful human being, man. She sets her goals crazy high. Labor laws, you got to be 18 to sell a car. The role of social media in car sales. Oh man, dude, that's a whole another 40-minute segment right there. Um, it's just huge. It's absolutely huge. Our Facebook, we use our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know, we use all of that stuff. It's just it's the future. It's how you reach out to your people for sure. Yeah, we can talk about that Wednesday more. Absolutely. Join us on the Quinny Flinny Show this Wednesday, car sales special. I love that name, man. The Quinny Flinny Show. Pretty awesome. All right, man. Well, if you guys don't have anything else for me, I'm gonna get at it. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this beautiful, beautiful day out here. Is that okay with you guys? I appreciate all the hearts. Thanks for tuning in. You're very welcome. Thanks for having me, Ricky. I appreciate it. PJ, thanks for the invite, man. You guys rock. So, all right. All right, you guys all take care, okay? Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Tim Elmers. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Killer Smile. All right, thank you, Liz. All right, I'm going to get off of here. See you guys.